On March 23rd, 1991, the London Monarchs beat the Frankfurt Galaxy 24-11 in the very first World League of American football, which featured teams in Europe, the United States, and Canada, in connection with the NFL to help grow the sport across the world. Here's the story behind this short-lived football league today on Daily Sports History. Welcome to Daily Sports History. I'm Ethan Reese, your guide to a rapid deep dive into sports history every day. We have to go back way past 1991 to understand how this league started. The NFL was growing in popularity, and in 1974, they wanted to start an international league featuring multiple teams in Europe, and they were going to call it the Intercontinental Football League. And they even helmed NFL owners Al Davis and Tex Stram to help get the league together. But unfortunately, a player strike and a recession came, and there was turmoil in Europe when Turkey invaded Cyprus, so they shelved the whole project. In 1980, they wanted to bring it back, as they started to see the popularity of football happening in Europe. And they even started to play some preseason over in London. And in 1989, they announced the plans to start the International Football League, except they decided to change the name as Donald Trump and a partner, Charlie Finley, already owned the rights to that name due to them trying to start their own league. So they changed the name to the World Football League of America. Though the NFL was connected, they didn't want everyone to think that this was a farm team or a minor league system for the NFL. They wanted to use it to help grow the sport across the world. They expected to have 12 teams, 6 in America, 6 in the United States, 4 in Europe, 1 in Canada, and 1 in Mexico. And they even secured a TV deal with ABC and the USA Network. And Tex Stram was still getting this league together, but he was let go in 1990 due to him trying to make the league independent and stand alone on itself, instead of being a small league with close ties to the NFL.
But on November 14th, 1990, the WLAF announced it would begin playing in 1991 with 10 teams, 6 in the United States, 3 in Europe, and 1 in Canada, split into 3 divisions: North American West, North American East, and Europe, with a 50-game schedule that would stretch from March all the way to May, and they held a 10-day draft convention, basically, where they would have almost 700 players come down, work out, and do a combine-like workout, and then they would hold a position draft where each round a team would draft a specific position. So they would have a quarterback round where each team drafted a quarterback, and a running back round where each team drafted a running back, trying to make all the teams fair. All the players would receive a base salary of $20,000, and players could make more money by getting performance-based incentives, with a maximum total salary of $100,000. Today, that would be roughly $40,000 base and a chance to make almost $200,000. The league started on March 23rd, 1991, and had a triple header with games featured in Frankfurt, Germany, Birmingham, Alabama, and Sacramento, California. And they made it all the way through their regular season, and they had a playoff system where the 3 division winners, which were the London Monarchs, the New York Knights, and the Birmingham Fire, and 1 wildcard team, the Barcelona Dragons, would all compete in a playoff scenario where London faced off against Barcelona in the World Bowl in 1991 at Wembley Stadium, where London won 21-0. They were able to get to their first season, but they netted a loss of $7 million, which is almost $15 million today. In addition to that, they got terrible ratings on ABC and the US Network, who were threatening to pull their contracts. Though they averaged roughly 26,000 fans per game the first season, the European teams had more success than the North America teams. Despite all this, the NFL decided to bring them back for one more season to see if they could could correct some of this challenges. They shortened the name to the World League, but they didn't see any different results, and they folded after the 92 season. But 3 years later, given the popularity that they saw in the European League, they tried to bring it back in a new form called NFL Europe, where they would have teams exclusively in Europe. And this lasted for almost 12 years. So despite having thousands of fans at every game, they still couldn't catch on. But they did have great players come out of this league, such as quarterbacks Kurt Warner, Brad Johnson, Jake Delhomme, and John Kitna, and Hall of Fame kicker Adam Vinatieri. Since these leagues have failed, it didn't mean they weren't successful, which is why we have seen the NFL go more and more playing games in Europe, starting with games in London, playing games in Mexico, and now, more recently, they played a game this past year in Germany. They may continue to expand as there's a want for Europeans to want to enjoy the game of football, or as they call it, American football. And who knows, maybe we'll actually get a team over there one day. It seems like that may be a possibility. Thank you for listening to today's Daily Sports History. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe wherever you're at. We want to hear from you. We want to know that you're enjoying it, and that it's a great way for us to know that you are a part of our community and that you come back every day to listen. So don't miss tomorrow's Daily Sports History.